All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakah Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the hopeful elect brothers that's doing the will of the Lord in sincerity and in truth. Now, this is just going to be an update on what's going on with the Iran war. The peace deal is canceled, so now they're back at it again. I'm gonna go through a couple videos, but first let me get this. I want to get this. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, set up everything to happen during a certain time, because it says to everything there is a season. So there's a season for everything. For example, during a certain time of the year, you would plant certain crops, like certain fruits and vegetables, and after, during another season of the year, that's when they would yield. That's when you would harvest them, right? For example, you planted apples in a season, and then you would reap them or harvest them in another season. Let me look it up just to be sure, because it's easy because of the internet. What seasons are apples usually planted and then harvested? It says apple trees are typically planted in the spring as soon as the soil can be worked, or in late fall when they are dormant. They are harvested from late summer through late fall, August to November, depending on the specific variety and climate. So there you go. Apples are planted either in spring or fall, and then harvested in summer. That's just an example, and it's the same thing with events. It's the same thing with the prophecies, right? The Most High set up certain prophecies to take place now, which are the end time prophecies, which that's the MOTB being made mandatory, the awakening of the Israelites, and the sealing of the elect of the Israelites, right? Which the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You have the prophecy of WW3 that's coming to pass right now, right? Jacob's trouble, Isaiah 32, dealing with these women being humbled, dealing with the most high, Yahweh Bashim Yashai, humbling these women, economic collapse, the migration from a money system with physical money like cash or coins, and then it's migrating to digital money. Right now we're in like the in-between stage, because you have the cell phone, the smartphone, which has digital credit cards, or virtual versions of them, that when you put your info onto like Apple Pay or Google Pay, you can actually see it, like TD Bank, Bank of America card. You see it, and then you pay with it whenever you go to the store to buy clothes or food, and then you see it in your bank account, your TD Bank app, or your Bank of America app. You see it being withdrawn. But the next step after that is going to be the MOTB, because the MOTB, the RFID chip, will replace the smartphone, and they have everything set up. They have for the digital system, right? For the digital prison, they have 15-minute cities. They have digital currencies like CBDC. They have digital IDs being set up right now. They have digital keys, which are going to replace physical keys. These new cars, there's no more keys. It's just a key fob, or you could use your phone as a digital key. So these prophecies that was written thousands of years ago, the Most High has the season and the time for them to take place right now, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Now I'm gonna get to verse 8. Verse 8 says, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. We are not in a time of love. We're in a time of hate, definitely. And we are in a time of war. We are in a time of war right now, as you could see with all that's going on in the Middle East and also Europe, right? Wars and rumors of wars. Matthew, the 24th chapter. Now, this war won't end. It calmed down for a while, but now it's not. Now the Most High, ignited or lit the fire under it again. So now it's on and popping, like popcorn. So definitely this, this place is soon to be destroyed. Now, I'm gonna get this right here. This is from Wyon. I think this is an Indian news station.
Iran launches unstoppable missile targets. US bases America hit first, hard and repeatedly. Now Iran is answering with a strategy designed not just to retaliate, but to damage and degrade every US base across West Asia. While heavy damage in Kuwait, Bahrain have been reported, and now the alarm sirens have been activated in Bahrain. Take a look at this next report for more details.
This is no longer about who has the bigger military. It is about who can make the battlefield unbearable.
Because America's supposed to have the best military and the best weapons. But how are they losing? That's the Most High doing that. Because they're going to lose. They've been winning all this time. Like when you go to Isaiah, the 14th chapter, right? Let me see. Isaiah 14 and 10. All they shall speak, meaning the other nations that have nuclear capability. Now they're on an even playing ground, because before America had super weapons, but now these other nations have it. These other nations have missiles, right? All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? And also these other nations like China, they've built up their economy to where they can actually fund their technology programs and fund the military, for the research and the coming up of new weapons, and to advance their arsenal, to upgrade their weapons, the main thing being the missiles. Art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? So now it's an even playing ground. So they can't bully these nations anymore, and Iran is showing that.
The United States has continued its intense bombardment of Iranian military infrastructure and strategic facilities. Washington insists in Iran's military capability, but Tehran appears determined to prove exactly the opposite. The US launched
Fair use.
a wave of strikes against Iran for the sixth night in a row on Friday. The US strikes have been focused on the Iranian island of Qashem, Sirik near Strait of Hormuz, Chabahar, Ahvaz, as well as in the southern coastal cities of Bandar Abbas and Bushehr, the site of 6 months truce. Iran is now opening a new chapter in its retaliation campaign across West Asia against American.
Yeah, so Iran is retaliating after the US hit them, right? And down here it says 16 US troops killed. So now, like, they try to stop it, but the Most High is in control of all this. So this war won't stop. It's just gonna escalate. Let's see. I had, what is it? This. No, this one. This is from Mirror Now. Iran hit American military base. Iranian army says surface-to-surface missiles were used. Iran strikes Kuwait base as U.S.-Iran war explodes. Iran claims missiles targeted U.S. HIMARS system in Kuwait. Regional tensions skyrocket. So there's another one. This one. New fears war with Iran could expand. It's gonna blow up into a full-blown, full-scale world war. And these other nations are gonna have to get involved. And then Russia has their big brother. Iran has their big brother, Russia, and then they also have China. And these American these allies of America are gonna turn against them. So it's gonna be, it's gonna be pretty interesting. But this is prophecy. Let me get Ecclesiastes 12. Right? Because this is going to go into it. Yeah, let me just read it and then play the video and then get another scripture. Ecclesiastes 12 says, Ecclesiastes 12:3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men bow themselves, and the keepers of the house are, is the government. And the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. Those are the workers, because unemployment is at an all-time high. Because there are few, every company is laying off thousands of people, especially due to AI. Even in China, I saw something this morning, because I like to watch news from other countries like China, Indonesia, Japan, because they have to know what's going on. And I have to start watching more of like news of what's going on in like South America, even though like the major ones everyone knows. But in China, the new college or university graduates, they're in fear because AI is taking over. So how are they going to get jobs? And also in China, there's a obesity problem that's arising. So, you know, that Western disease spread to China too. And the grinders cease because there are few jobs. And a lot of these businesses are closing. And those that look out of the windows be darkened. And that's dealing with the markets. You know, dealing with the economy and what's the dealing with the economy and the stock market. This one always gets me. My memory always messes up here. Salakia. And the doors shall be shut in the streets. It's talking about the businesses. And a lot of these businesses are shutting down, thousands of businesses, right? A lot have already completely shut down. And a lot of them are going online, you know. Those businesses that don't get completely shut down and closed, meaning, you know, that business is no more in operation, it's done, they're going online. Because they're making everything online. They're making everything that you purchase is online. For example, DoorDash. What's the other one? DoorDash. You know, like when you order food, you know everything's order and delivery right now. You have Shein, that's from China. Temu, Amazon. You know, Amazon and Apple is taking over everything. And Microsoft too, that's taking over everything. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Music quality sucks right now. And plus the music sales are all the way down. Because with streaming, you make like 0.002 cents or something like that. You know, with streaming music. So they don't make any money. And then, your music quality sucks. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So, what is that going into? Back before there was an alarm, you had a bird that usually wake you up in the morning as soon as the sun's about to rise, like a rooster. And they still have them in a lot of the countries. You still have them in like the country parts of the states, you know, where there's not where it's not a city, like the rural areas, you know, like the farmlands. The modern version of that is your alarm clock that's on your phone. You set it to wake up at a certain time. These people are setting their alarm clocks to go to work or to wake up to apply for jobs or to check their notification to see if they've been denied or approved, you know, to get a new job. So this is it, because it says new Red Sea blockade threatens further escalation in the Middle East, which the oil prices is going up. So the economy, you know, like multiple factors is affecting the economy. And also war is expensive. And then you have this tug of war with the oil prices that's going on. 1 minute it dips a little bit, and the next minute it's all the way back at $5. Now,
this morning, new fears the war with Iran could be expanding, with the Iran-backed Houthis from Yemen now threatening to block Saudi oil from transiting another key waterway, this one connecting the Red Sea to the Indian Ocean. With traffic in the Strait of Hormuz already slowing to a crawl, cutting off the Red Sea could cause oil prices to spike even further. And gas prices now more than $4 a gallon as well.
So it was at 3 something. It was okay, but now it's back up to 4.50. Now, let me go to something. One thing I wanted to get, because I asked, I tried to search if Iran has any ICBMs. On ChatGPT, they said no. I says no, not based on public available evidence. So Iran hasn't shared any public info, that they have ICBMs. But it says that recent U.S. intelligence assessments have stated that Iran could potentially develop a military viable ICBM before 2035 if it chose to pursue one. So I went to DuckDuckGo, right? Oh yeah, and the monster missiles that they have is the Khorram Shahar 4 K-Bar and the Fatah 2, capable of carrying payloads of up to 15 kilograms over ranges of up to 2,000 kilometers. What's 2,000 kilometers? I know it's a couple of miles. (1,242 miles), right? And then you have one that's it says Fatah 2, a hypersonic glide vehicle missile. So none of these are ICBMs, because ICBM is an intercontinental missile. So it travels in between one part of the earth to another part of the earth, from Asia to America, right? From the Middle East to America, from Russia to America, from Europe to America. And it says Kebar Shakan, a solid fueled missile with a 1,450 kilometer range, known for its high maneuverability and pinpoint accuracy. So Iran doesn't even have, big, I should say, their missiles compared to American missiles, they're supposed to be weaker, but Iran is winning. So this is from 1945, Hermit Kingdom. Iran has an ICBM program. They got it from North Korea. Evaluates its strategic partnership between Iran and North Korea. So let me see. And also, they have Russia to give them missiles, because Russia has ICBMs. Has Iran, this is from Z News, has Iran built 10,000 kilometer ICBM missile capable of striking US, Europe, and Israel? Iran announced it has developed an ICBM missile. Salakia. Man, this shit is stupid. Oh, come on, bro. Okay, now it doesn't want to do it. So there you go. So it's basically unofficial news that they do have a ICBM they have an ICBM program. So they're developing their own ICBMs. Now, let me get said Isaiah 9. Isaiah 9 says, "For every battle of the warrior is fought with confused noise and garments rolled in blood." So that was back in the ancient world when the armies would meet up and they would actually have war physically, person to person, where they would go at it with swords and spears, and they would have shields and armor on, and a lot of men would die from that. There would be blood all over the place and garments rolled in blood. Like if you go back to the books of Samuel, First and Second Samuel, and First and Second Kings, where King David, where it has records of King David and his army going to war with these other nations, and they would list like the amount of people that died, thousands of people here, hundreds of people there. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire, because these aren't just regular arrows. These are actually thermonuclear missiles, right? It's fire. America's going to be destroyed by fire, by the missiles. Now, one last one, and then I'm going to end it. Psalms 7 or 9. Let me see. Psalm 7 and 13, and then I'm going to end it. "He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors." Now, who are the persecutors? The persecutors is the nation of Edom, the so-called white man. First and foremost, they've been persecuting the Israelites for hundreds of years, and they're still doing it. They're still actually hanging Israelites to this day. They're murdering Israelites to this day. I think his name is Nolan or Norman Wells. He died recently because he wanted to go party with Edomites. Like he was the only black guy there, so-called black guy there. That makes no sense. They murdered him and like countless more that's constantly in the news. And they had us in slavery, chattel slavery, where we were in chains, and we picked cotton in sugar cane for them, mine gold, mine silver, to where they got so rich off of us. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. And also through colonization, Esau, Edom took over the whole world. For example, Britain, they went to India, and they colonized India. You have Belgium and France. They colonized certain parts of Africa. The Spanish, they colonized the northern kingdom of Israel, the so-called Latinos, and also the Portuguese. So he ordaineth his arrows, which are the ICBMs, against the persecutors. So it says that the Iran war could expand, meaning it's gonna blow up into a world war, WW3. And then I'm gonna end it with this one. I really have to go. Yo, this phone is complete garbage, man. I don't think this is really a refurbished phone. I think they gave me like a old phone that they just made it look like it's new. Because it's very slow. So that means I probably have to get a new phone. Revelation 11 and 14, and then I'm going to end it. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. So the second world war already passed, and then the third woe cometh quickly. Right, and what's that? World War III. And technically, we're already in World War III. But it's going to blow up. The Most High is going to have it to where these nations are going to gather in the Middle East because it's going to get so bad. The Most High is going to cause something or multiple situations to happen to where they have to go to the Middle East. The armies of these nations have to call an emergency military draft. Have to. And then they have to go to the Middle East. And that's where the Most High is going to judge them. The valley of Yehoshaphat, of Jehoshaphat, the Most High's decision. And that's the end of the lesson. Lord will, this is edifying. All praises, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.